This is for your own good. One of our early test subjects described it as being like death.
Violence is a very...
Well, no, but they need to be fixed. He felt that mental illness was a contagion in society and it had to be wiped out. Now, his plan was to repattern and rebuild people. De-pattern and rebuild people. And de-patterning meant breaking down the personality completely, removing a person's original personality, and then rebuilding would be giving them a new one. So he built a laboratory in Montreal at the Allen Memorial Institute in Montreal. Now, this is starting in 1957, and what we're talking about is MK Ultra Subproject 68. Cameron would go up there. He commuted from Albany, New York to Montreal every weekend, and he would go up there and he would take people who would come into the hospital for depression, for postpartum depression, anxiety, any kind of mental illness. He would put them in his special room. Now, once you were in his special room, you didn't get to leave.
Oh, that's nice.
You weren't told in advance what was going to happen to you, because if you were, you would never consent to this.
You would never leave?
Well,
a one-way trip?
It depends on your definition of who came out of that room.
Ah, I see.
So in this room, he would do things to you. He had two favorite techniques. One was to put you in an insulin coma, a medically induced coma, for weeks at a time, even months.
This is like torture.
Well, if you're in a coma, you can't really call it torture, can you? Because you're not feeling anything.
You don't. Maybe you are.
That
you just can't move.
Right. His other thing was electroshock therapy. But whereas most people who got electroshock therapy got, one shock a week or a month, he would give people up to 360 shocks in the course of a couple of days.
This guy was insane.
You think?
Yeah.
I agree. He would not have. He thought that he was sane, more sane than you and me. One of his definitions of the week was people who didn't trust the government.
He's a movie.
It would make a pretty good horror movie.
It sure would.
So once he had done this, once he had completely destroyed your personality, he would then play audio tapes over and over and over again that you could not choose you couldn't turn away from. You had to listen to these tapes. For 16, 20 hours a day, you would listen to these tapes. You would listen to them for up to 100 days at a time. Now, the tapes would play messages like, if say someone had come in for postpartum depression, the tape would say, "You are a good wife. You are a good mother. You love your children."
Huh.
Over and over and over
and
again.
It would be ingrained in you.
That was the idea. The idea was to rebuild people. Now, the CIA comes in because they hear about all this, and they think this is a great way to brainwash people. You break down their personality, and then you put whatever you want on that tape.
Let's talk more about this and take some phone